Good evening, everybody. I'll be waiting for you guys to come. Wow, it's been a long while, huh? Okay. I'm wearing this little cute hat. I wanted to dress up like a witch, but I don't know if I look like a witch or not. And this is like my wand. It's actually a straw. Yeah, I'm gonna use this to drink this. Can't believe it's October 29th. Oh gosh. Well, normally we do it on the third week Friday, but this time I'm doing it on the fourth week Friday, so I'm worried that not many people would come in. Like now, just like now. I'm waiting for you guys to come. I am waiting. Gwen is waiting here. It's gotten quite chilly outside in Korea. And yeah, inside is warm. I'm wearing this very heavy sweater, waiting for somebody to come. I posted a picture on my Instagram twice today, letting you guys know that there will be a live show tonight. Nobody's coming. Waiting, y'all. I'm waiting for y'all. Hey, hello, Hung. Welcome to the live show. Jinho, thank you for the compliment. You're so beautiful, thank you. Yes. Okay. One by one, people are coming in. Anisha, hello, ma'am. How are you? I'm doing fine, thank you. Today I dressed up. I tried to dress up as a witch, like her down there. I was able to find the purple hat matching in the picture, but I don't think I look like one at all. I went to a dollar store here in Seoul. Hi, Trong Pham, welcome. Hello, teacher, Sunshine, welcome to the show. And Tuyet, happy Halloween. Yes, happy Halloween. And Han, hello, my beloved teacher. You look so cool and beautiful tonight. Thank you very much. Always a very nice compliment you give to me. Okay, well, it's been a long while, right? We usually see every third Friday, but you know, this time it's the fourth Friday. So I was a bit worried that you guys might not be here. But thankfully you guys are here. I'm so relieved. Sunshine, I love your background. Halloween is coming. Yeah, Halloween is this Sunday, right? It's October 31st. And actually, you know, the background story of Halloween is to scare away the ghosts, you know, scare away the evils so that they wouldn't, like, you know, kill the human beings. That's why we have to actually dress up very scary so that, you know, the ghosts would get scared and run away. But, you know, people like to dress up pretty or like a princess. You know, when that time when the Disney movie Frozen was like a boom all over the world, all kids were dressed up like Elsa, right? So it changed a little. Teiji, happy Halloween. In Japan, COVID-19 is much more calm. How about Korea? It's gotten much better. Yes, Korea, where the numbers are decreasing drastically. Actually, got up a little bit, it went up a little bit, but it's going down overall. The graph is going down overall, and I think starting November we're gonna release all these, like, you know, restrictions and, like, you know, the hours that we could stay out at the restaurants. And yeah, I think our lives are gonna, you know, go back to normal in a short time. Yes. Hi Tadashi, welcome to the show. I've been seeing your Instagram feed and I saw a lot of pictures of food. It seemed like you were having some very delicious food recently. Gok Trin, hi Gwen, I look forward to meet you. Okay, thank you. I really look forward to seeing you, yes, too. So yeah, welcome. Thank you for coming to the show. Guys, before we start the show, please like what you're watching right now so that, YouTube algorithm could push out our program to more viewers out there so we could share good content with more people on YouTube. All right, so press like, 좋아요, 좋아요, 좋아요. Yes. Okay. Earlier I said I went to this dollar store in Korea. It's called Daiso, and it's a dollar store. The concept is, you guys all know, things are very cheap there. It's either $1 or $2. If it gets like really expensive, it's like $5. And I paid $2 for this hat. Yeah. And when I went there were a lot of elementary school students like trying to get theirs, and I was like competing with them trying to get one hat. And yeah, so I got my hat, looking like the witch in that picture. I wasn't able to find a broomstick, but yeah, it's the Halloween. So yes, normally I do it on the 22nd. Yes, the third week, but we changed it to the 29th because I wanted to do it right before the Halloween. So yeah, sorry about that. That's why we put out a notice that it's going to be like postponed 1 week. So I'm sorry for causing any confusion. Sorry about that. Okay. So guys, I hope you guys are all doing good. I mean, the whole world is doing better with COVID. And yeah, Mr. Ja, welcome to the show. Happy Halloween. Hope you had a nice trip. I did. Yes. I visited my friends. I visited my parents, and I'm back in Seoul. I've been working so hard, actually. And I'm finishing up my book. You see it here? Yeah, this is part 2. This is the part where there's a major change, right? And I'm looking through it one last time. So I think the Korean version will be ready out there soon. But English version is going to take a little while. Taeji said it's okay. The Korean version is fine. We can accept it. But, I want everything to be perfect. And if you can't read Korean, it's useless, isn't it? I'm just a little worried. Yeah, so we're working on it. Don't worry. I'm not being lazy. I'm not procrastinating. I'm diligently working on everything that I have to do for you guys, okay? And without further ado, let's get into TOEIC Speaking Live Show. Ready, guys? Okay, so the title disappeared, but don't worry. I have the whole Halloween concept ready for each and every part. All right. Oh, by the way, do you guys know what RIP means? Let me know if you guys know what RIP means. RIP. Of course, you got to be looking at the passage, okay? Guys got to be reading the passage. And here goes my sparkling water, carbonated water. Oh yeah, I didn't shake it, so it's very calm. Indeed, sunshine. Part 2 is really challenging. Yes, I know. A lot of students have been complaining that, 30 seconds is just too short. They can't say actually anything, When you say two ums like this twice, I mean, the time just flies. You can't say much. Wow, sunshine, you got it right. It's rest in peace, right? You see it on the gravestone in the graveyards, right? Tombstones. Okay, so let me read the first passage for you guys so you could check how some words sound. Welcome to Metropolitan Museum of Photography, and I'm your tour guide, Ashley Moore. Our museum is the world's leading institution dedicated to photography, visual culture, and media art. On this tour, you will get to enjoy fabulous photographs captured on film by many photographers. Now, if you're ready, follow me this way. Okay, so that is the first passage. Now, guys, we keep on seeing this word photography, right? Along with photographers and photographs. And all these 3 words have different stresses, so you gotta know how to make the right stress. The word photography has the 2nd syllable stress. It's photography. Photography, okay? Are you repeating after me? Photography, okay? And the word photographer, it has the same 2nd syllable stress, is the people who take pictures, right? It's photographers, okay? And the word photograph is the first syllable stress, so it's got to be photographs, photographs, photographs. You see how my mouth doesn't touch, both of my lips don't touch? They say photographs, photographs. And that's because the PH sound is the same pronunciation as F. So it shouldn't be photograph, photograph. That's wrong. That's wrong. It's photographs, photographs. Okay? So you got to stick out your lips, pull out your lips, and it's got to be photographs, photographs. Or photography, photography. Or photographer, photographer. Got it? All right. Now let me know if there are some words that you would want me to pronounce again. Okay, so Trang, welcome to the show. I thought you would dress up like Gwen in League of Legends. I know, I was gonna. And I, tried to place the order on AliExpress. And you know what? They say I tried to order it 1 month before, but they say the costume's going to be arriving in the middle of November, which is just too late. I don't know, this whole shipping crisis all over the world is happening right now, and it's taking so long for things to get delivered. So eventually, I just wasn't scheduled to get that thing on time. So I couldn't dress up as Gwen. Sorry about that. Instead, I got this little hat. Okay. All right, Anisha, finally I get a chance to join your live. I'm so excited. Well, welcome to the show, Ms. Perrier. Is that how I read it? Perrier, okay? Sorry about that. Minsunim, welcome. Yes. And Lee Eric. Wow, nice background and costume for occasion. Greetings from Taiwan. Oh, so Mr. Lee, you're from Taiwan. Welcome to the show. Okay, Taiwan is one of my favorite countries in the world. Yes, I love your food. I love how nice the people are there. I love Taiwan. And Trin, can you pronounce world and word? Okay, now you made a good point there. The word, W-O-R-D. When you are pronouncing this word, there's no L sound, so it's just word, word. Word, okay? So W, when you're making the W sound, you have to pull out your lips, w. And when you're also making the R sound, it's got to be It's a little bit slightly put in compared to W, but still it's out, w, and you end the sound by saying d. Can you see my tongue in my mouth? Can you see my tongue touching the upper ridge of my, whole mouth? D. So it's got to be world. No, sorry. Word. Okay. Now, with the L in the middle, it changes a lot, actually. It's were, up until were, it's the same, right? Were. But then you have to stick your tongue right behind the two big teeth. On the upper side, it's d. Okay? So basically think that, when you're saying the world with an L, W-O-R-L-D, think that there are 3 steps to the sound. It's world, 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 world. And see how my mouth changes, okay? It's world, world, and word, word, word. Okay? So I will say it, interchanging the word by saying world, word, world, word. Get from the side, world, word, world, word, word. Okay? So when you try to make that L sound, somehow the jaw opens up a little bit. Oh. So it's world, world. However, if there's no L, it's word, 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 world, world, word. Okay. I hope that helps a little bit. Yeah, it's very tricky. World, world. Okay? just try to focus on making the clear L sound, then it will make a whole lot of difference. Okay? All right, so that was the only word that you guys wanted me to repeat. So the key words here that you should be careful are photography, again, photography, or photographers, and photographs, okay? And other than that, we always see the word museum with the second syllable stress, and the word metropolitan, metro. Whenever there's a T and R together, it's got to be ch, similar to the CH sound. So it's metropolitan museum, metropolitan museum. Okay? Okay, Trin. I hope it helped you. All right, then let me read it once again. Welcome to Metropolitan Museum of Photography, and I'm your tour guide, Ashley Moore. Our museum is the world's leading institution dedicated to photography, visual culture, and media art. On this tour, you'll get to enjoy fabulous photographs captured on film by many photographers. Now, if you're ready, follow me this way. Okay, so that was our first passage. Now, let's move on to the second one. Okay. This is our second passage. The word fabulous, okay, fabulous. You have to know the difference between the F sound and the B sound, Teiji, okay? So for F sound, it's, you don't, put your lips together. It's f. It's more like an H sound. F, okay? And then you say fabu. It's almost the same as the sound of the month February, right? So it's fabulous. And the stress goes on the first syllable, so it's got to be fabulous. You try to make that first sound louder, okay? Fabulous. So long time ago, when I was in my 20s, there used to be a show called, it's from HBO, Sex and the City. And in that show, there was a lady called, what was her name? Oh my gosh, I forgot her name. It's not Miranda. It's not Carrie. It's that lady, the blonde lady, yes. And she always said fabulous. She always said fabulous when something's good. She's like, fabulous. What was her name? Does anybody know who I'm talking about? It's the blonde lady who has her own PR company, a small PR company, and yeah, she was all about sex on that show. What was her name? It wasn't Miranda. It wasn't Carrie. Samantha. Yes, it's Samantha. Okay, got it. It was Samantha. She always said that was like her trademark. Like she would always say fabulous. Okay, so that's how you pronounce this word. Fabulous. All right, now let me read the second passage for you guys. It is my honor to present the 50th National Athletics Competition. Many athletes have been training their skills, strengths, and performance to do their best at this event. They're here to compete fairly while being watched by the judges who specialize in each field. Let's welcome the athletes and their coaches with a big round of applause. Okay. It's Samantha. It was Samantha in the show. Yeah, it was Samantha who was always wearing heels. Yeah, she was very cool, very outgoing, very funny. Yeah, and then later she was with the actor, a very young, good-looking guy in the show, but they eventually broke up. I mean, she left him because she loved herself more. That's what she said as an excuse. It was Samantha. Okay, Helen, so you want me to pronounce 50th. It's 50th. Okay. So whenever you read the words like 20th, not 10th. 10th does not apply to this, making of the sound. It's 20th, 30th, 40th, 50th, 60th, 70th, 80th, and 90th. Okay? So these are the numbers that I'm talking about. So in the front side of those words, it's always the same, right? It's 20, 30, 40, 50. But then later you have to try to make that E pronunciation. But it's not 50th. It's not 50th. Because, guys, there's no stress on that E, right? So we don't make a clear sound, but we rather say y, y. 50th, it's schwa, okay? It's the sound of schwa. So you sort of like blur the sound. It's 50th, 30th, okay? So let me show it to you from 20th. It's 20th, 30th, 40th, 50th, 60th, 70th, 80th, 90th, right? I got them all right? Okay, so it's 90th, 20th. Okay, but when you're saying 10th, it's just 10th. And when you're saying 100th, it's just 100th. And when you're saying the word 100th, you don't necessarily have to make the D sound in the end. It's just 100th, 100th. Okay, so that's how you say 50th, 50th. Yes, Luna, it's yug. It sounds like yug. Okay, and the words here, the tricky words are athletics. Athletics. Now the word athletics has the second syllable stress, so it's going to be athletics, athletics, or athletics, or athletics. And then the word athlete. Now these are the people who are doing exercises, right? Is athletes. It's the first syllable stress, so it's got to be athletes, athletes, athletes. Can you see how my tongue is slightly touching the upper teeth in the front? Athletes, athletes, athletic, athletic. Okay, so athletics, athletics has the second syllable stress. Trin, you got to be careful with that. Athletics. And then the word athletes has the first syllable stress. It's athlete, athletes. Of course, with an S in the end, if there is. Athletes, athletes. Okay? These words, they always come up in the same, passage to make, it's a trick. It's like something that they want to test you on, right? And the word, let's say honor, has no sound for H, okay? It's silent H. It's honor, honor. The sound comes all the way from down here. Honor, honor. So you got to open up your jaw. Honor, 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 honor. Okay? And the word compete and competition. Oh, this could be tricky too. So any word that ends with T-I-O-N, the stress comes in front of T-I-O-N. So it's got to be competition, competition, competition. But when you are reading the verb form of this word, it's compete, compete, compete. Okay? So overall, these days, part 1 is focusing a lot on to check whether you guys know the right stress. It's not only about pronunciation now. Know the right stress or not for each word. Okay, so let me read this for you again. It is my honor to present the 50th National Athletics Competition. Many athletes have been training their skills, strengths, and performance to do their best at this event. They're here to compete fairly while being watched by the judges who specialize in each field. Let's welcome the athletes and their coaches with a big round of applause. Gosh, this passage is very tricky because it keeps on showing the words FP, FP, very interchanging the words here. Like it's really, complicated. Anyways, I made a mistake. And when I made the mistake, what did I do? I said sorry, and then I started that sentence all over again, right? So this is how you could do it when you're actually taking the test. Just cut yourself off, say sorry, and then read it again smoothly from the start of that sentence. Don't go all the way to the front. Okay, so that was a little warm-up activity with part 1, and we're going to move on to part 2, which is the problem for all of us these days. I know, it's a big problem. So guys, share with me all the expressions and words that you would like for me to use when I'm describing this picture. I'll be waiting for your participation. Well, I wouldn't say it's a tricky or hard picture. No, it's not. It's quite easy actually. And I think there's much to say. And yeah. And you could also mention something like there's an empty chair. There's an empty chair. Or you could see, now this is a very hard one. You could see a building reflected on the windows. But yeah, you wouldn't necessarily have to mention it, okay? You could just say you can see some windows and a building. Yeah, that's what you could actually see. People are wearing hats. Yes. Just let me know what you guys see. Wow, Trin, this is a picture taken outside. There are 3 people in this picture. In the foreground of the picture, there are 2 people. Both of them are sitting on chairs. Good. And Trin said one of them is wearing a hat. One of them is wearing a hat, and she's looking at something on a table, and one of them is wearing plaid shirt. Good. We learned this, right? Wearing a plaid shirt, and she's crossing her legs. Well done. On the right side of the picture, I can see a man. He's wearing glasses and standing next to the women. Wow. All of them are discussing something and maybe they're busy. Good. Good job. And Trin, if I were you, for those 2 women that you were talking about in the beginning, I would say in the middle of the picture instead of saying in the foreground of the picture. Okay? All right. Well, there's no correct answer to this. And Sunshine, this picture is taken outside. Okay, there are 3 people. Oh, you don't have to like specify, like, you know, there are 2 women and 1 man. It's MAN because it's just one, right? So there are 3 people. Yes, there are 3 people. That's it. You don't have to say anymore. And on the right side of the picture, there's a man because eventually we're going to say about the man, right? Standing, and he's wearing a hat. Guys, remember, hat and shirt are all countable nouns, which mean, you know, if you say 1 hat, it's got to be a hat or 1 hat. If it's like many hats, they are wearing hats. They're wearing hats. Gwen is wearing a purple hat. There's got to be a in front of that word, okay? Do we need an explanation of the surrounding scenery? I don't think so. And Teji, have you timed your answer these days? You know, 30 seconds is too short. You could actually, it's impossible to say anything about the surroundings or the background. Yeah, it's really, really short. So I tell all my students just to focus on what people are doing, especially their, you know, I always tell you guys actions. Try to use the verb, and that's all you got to do. 30 seconds is just too short to talk about the windows, to talk about the building, and also the empty chair. You don't have enough time, okay? The guy is leaning on the table. That's definitely true. He's leaning on the table, right? That's the right preposition, you could say. And Trin, thanks for your correction. You're welcome. Trang, how come you erased your answer? I was going to read it just now. I'm waiting for it. So if there are less than 3 or less than 3 or less than 3 people, I think it's easier. I think it's easier to make a 30-second answer. But if there are more people, then you guys get confused. You guys become very greedy and want to say more and more about the picture. So I think you got to find a balance. And about like 3 months ago, when there was this change, when this change first happened in August, I, gave you guys some tips on what to do when there are 3 or less people in the picture, and when there are more than 4 or more people in the picture. Okay. So for the first picture, you guys got to use just, 1 by 1 technique. Just describe one person at a time. Maybe that could be a better approach. Okay. So it seems like Trang's not going to share her answer with me. Okay. Then let me try this one, guys. Anisha, this is a picture taken outside and there are 3 people. in this picture. Okay, it's in this picture. Well, in the right side of the picture, it's got to be on the right side. It's on the right, it's on the left. The preposition is on, okay? On the right side of the picture, there's a man standing and holding a mobile phone. He's not watching, but looking at, okay? When we're using the word watching, it's going to be something like that's going to last for some time. So it's got to be like watching a movie, watching a drama, watching news. We're watching something that lasts for some time period, okay? But paper doesn't last, okay? It's just there, so we're just looking at it. So you say he's looking at a piece of paper, okay? Mr. Lee, the lady in the middle is writing while the man and women next to her is watching. You could say that because when you're writing something, it takes time, right? So people could be watching you while you're writing something. I assume it is something interesting as I could see the smiles on all of their faces. Wow, you're using good English, Eric. Very good English. But for most of you guys, if you're just starting to, do better on TOEIC speaking and training yourself, just try to use short sentences. Just stick to short sentences and, just try to complete each sentence without any grammatical mistakes, okay? This picture was not visible outside. Really? Was not visible outside? What do you mean, Teiji? I think it is outside. It's just that we can't tell really. Yes. All right. Well, let me share my version of the answer, and it's going to be 30 seconds. Okay? This is a picture taken outside, maybe in front of a cafe, and there are 3 people in this picture. In the middle of the picture, there's a woman. She's wearing a hat, and she is using a laptop computer. And then next to her, there's a woman. She's wearing a plaid shirt, and she's crossing her legs. She's writing something. And on the right side of the picture, there's a man. He is just standing and looking at her writing. Maybe they're busy. Okay? So this is how you could approach any pictures with 3 or less number of people in. I said it one by one. And I only talked about the people. Teiji, there's no time to talk about anything else, okay? Just try to focus on those people in the picture. Anisha, on the middle. No, it's in the middle. All right, so for Anisha, I'm going to go one by one on the prepositions that we could use for part 2. Now, anything in the background is in the background of the picture, in the middle of the picture, in the foreground of the picture. So the straight line, it's all in the background, in the middle, in the foreground of the picture, okay? Now, when you're saying this part and this part of the picture, they are both on, okay? So it's on the right side of the picture, on the left side of the picture. On, in. Anisha, I hope this helps you, right? Okay? So it's in the background, in the middle, in the foreground, on the left side, and on the right side. Okay? That's how you remember that. Okay. Paylin, this picture is taken outside. Oh, you guys are still talking about the picture. Here. Okay. And there are 3 people having a chit-chat. Oh, I love this expression, having a chit-chat. They focus, looking at some stuff in front of the girl who dressed in red plaid shirt. Okay. Now, Paylin, the sentence is a little too long. Okay. So why don't you cut that sentence into 2? The girl who dressed in red plaid is, doing something, and the others are looking at her. Something like that. The glass behind them is reflecting. It's doing it right now, so it is reflecting the building very clearly, okay? And I guess the internet is a little late in some region. This is a picture taken outside of the cafe, and there are 3 people in this picture, and one of them is standing. He's wearing a hat and glasses. I liked how Tran is using the short sentence approach, okay? There's nothing wrong there. And next to him, there's a girl. She's sitting on the chair and holding a pen to write something on paper, okay? Next to her, a girl is wearing a hat too. 3 of them are all looking at the paper. Good. Maybe it is something interesting on it. I think so too, okay? So if you're lucky, Tren, you could say all this in 30 seconds, but you know, if you're not, then maybe you would have to get rid of what they are wearing, okay? Because he's wearing a hat, the girl is wearing a hat, those two kinds of information, those 2 pieces of information is quite redundant. It's the same expression, wearing a hat. So if I were you, I would get rid of one of that. Okay, Anisha, you're welcome. You're welcome. I hope it helped, okay? Because prepositions are very important, not only for part 2, but also for part 4 later when we see the chart. Okay, good. Now, oh guys, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you 30 seconds so you guys could do it. Just try for yourself. Just try to feel and see how short 30 seconds is, okay? Teji, are you ready? I'm going to give you 30 seconds, and guys, try to describe the picture now. Stop. Okay, so when we check the time with the timer here, it feels relatively longer than the actual timer that you will see on the test. I don't know why, but when you're taking the test, it feels shorter. It feels much shorter. Okay, so that is 30 seconds. It's not that long. Now this is a second picture. Okay, now there's only 2 people. There are only 2 people in this picture. So what are you gonna do? What you gonna do, guys? Let me know. Expressions, things you want to say. Oops. Yes. Anything you would like to say? Did I do something wrong? I hope not. Okay. Waiting for you guys to share your answers. Trin, you're being really fast today. This is a picture taken at a park, I think. And there are 2 men in this picture. On the left side of the picture, a man is wearing a hooded jacket. A hooded jacket, a hooded jacket. Of course, you don't actually get to hear the word because I say is wearing a hooded jacket, is wearing a hooded jacket. It's a schwa sound, right? But still, you got to put a in there when you're typing. A man is wearing a hooded jacket. He is playing the guitar and looking at the other man. You know why? Because you already indicated that there are only 2. So you talked about the first person. So the only one remaining should be the other man, not another man. It's going to be the other man, okay? And on the right side of the picture, the man in an orange jacket is playing the drums, Behind them, I can see many trees and many cars are parked. I think the weather is cool because they are wearing. It's got to be present progressive. Present progressive. It's ing form. They are wearing warm clothes. Maybe they are enjoying their time. Very well done. The mistakes that I, pointed out are very minor mistakes. So if you actually say it in good pronunciation, it's not going to, matter at all. It's not going to have any kind of influence on for you to get level 7. Okay. Overall, that was a very good answer. It feels so short. I know the 30-second they give you, it's really, really short. And they're playing musical instruments. Good. Hyun, this is a picture taken outside and there are two boys. They look like a band. Oh, I love this expression. I want you guys to use this expression. They look like something. They look like a band. They look like students. They look like college students to me, you know, or they look like musicians. They look like musicians. The boy standing on the left is playing the piano. Okay. See how Hyun said playing the piano? This is the right way of putting it. He looks so cool in his suit. Really? He looks cool? Okay, he looks cool in this suit. You say it, so I agree. And the boy sitting down is wearing unique clothes. Good job. In front of the word clothes, you do not put a. Okay, so unique clothes is right. He's playing the drums. It's got to be he's playing the. Like you said for the piano, you have to say he is playing the drums. Actually, he's playing the guitar, isn't he? It's playing the guitar. It's not the piano. Okay, now this picture, sunshine, is taken outside. On the right side of the picture, I can see a man sitting and playing drums. Playing the drums. The drums. He's wearing a hat and an orange jacket. On the left side, another man is wearing a dark colored jacket. Is standing and playing the guitar. In the background, I can see a lot of trees and full of yellow leaves on the ground. Oh, you know what? You could say there's yellow leaves on the ground. There are fallen leaves. Fallen. F-A-L-L-E-N. Fallen leaves on the ground. Fallen leaves. There are leaves. Fallen leaves on the ground because they fell down, right? And maybe it's a sunny day. In the autumn, the two men seem to really enjoy playing their instruments, and I suppose they're having a performance at a park. Okay, good. Trang, this is a picture taken outside and there are two people. On the left side, a man in a hoodie jacket is standing and playing the guitar. The other man in an orange jacket is sitting and playing the drum. And normally you say drums because, you know, when you're playing one single drum, it's a drum, but there are many drums in front of him, so it's playing the drums. And in the background, there are many trees. So maybe they're having a musical performance in a park. Oh, that was a good ending, Trang. They're practicing musical instruments. No, Taiji, they're practicing a song or they're practicing a piece of music, right? They're practicing music. They're practicing a piece of song, a piece of music, or practicing, you know, song or, you know, some music. But you can't say they're practicing musical instruments, okay? So you have to say they're practicing their song, yeah. Practice playing their musical instruments. You could say that. Practicing playing their instruments. Min, this is the picture. This is a picture. This is a picture of two men with their musical instruments. On the left side, the man is holding a guitar and looking at the man on the right. The other man on the right is holding drumsticks. Okay, Min, I tell my students to just like, you know, describe one at a time, one person at a time. So just finish talking about the guy on the left side and then move on to the guy on the right side, okay? It makes it easier for you to develop your answer. Chiyun, this is a picture of an outdoor. First, I can see two men. They are sitting and standing. Okay, in this case, you could say one of them is standing and one of them is sitting down. Okay, but Chiyun, I'm telling you the same thing. Just approach one by one. Talk about the guy on the left or right first, and then move on to the next person. There are many trees in the background, and okay. Luna is asking, would you not get 8 if you mispronounce? Oh, of course. Yeah, level 8 has to have like near native kind of like pronunciation. You gotta have a good pronunciation to deliver your answer perfectly. Because they consider if you don't have the right pronunciation, then there could be lots of misunderstandings and miscommunication happening. So they really do consider pronunciation important for especially level 8. Paylin, there are two people playing instrument attentively in the picture. A well-chosen word, attentively. Okay? One of them is playing the electric guitar. playing the electric guitar, and one of them is playing the drums. I guess the season is fall. Okay. Because there are a lot of maple leaves on the ground. Oh, good. Is that jacket called a hooded jacket? Well, yeah, you could say it's a hooded jacket. The right word of saying that is it's a hooded jacket. It's a hooded jacket. Yeah, it's not hoodie. You just call it a hoodie. But, you know, in this case, there's a zipper in the front, so you would have to call it a hooded jacket. Hooded, like what Trin has written, a hooded jacket, a hooded jacket. Yes. But when I say it, it sounds like hoodie, a hooded jacket, right? Eric, on the left side, is a guitarist. Okay, he is looking at the man next to him. On the right side is a drummer. He is holding drumsticks. They are about to play a song together. Now, Eric, your answer is a little bit too short to fulfill 30 seconds. Okay, so guys, I'm telling you the one-by-one approach, okay, step by step. So you talk about the location and how they look, what they're wearing, and then at the end, you talk about what the person is doing. So you do it twice because there are two people in this picture, and that's it. If you have enough time, more time, then you could talk about the trees in the background and the leaves, but if you don't, just forget about it, okay? Let me show my answer to you guys first. Hold on. Well, this is a picture taken outside at a park, and there are two people in this picture. Well, they look like musicians or maybe friends. On the left side of the picture, I can see one guy. He is wearing a hooded jacket. He is standing up and playing the guitar. On the right side of the picture, there's a man. He's wearing an orange jacket and a hat. He's sitting down, holding drumsticks and playing the drums. And maybe they're having fun. Ta-da! Okay? I only talked about those two people. I didn't mention anything about the trees. I didn't mention anything about the fallen leaves or the buildings or the cars. I just talked about the two people. I'm telling you, if there are 3 or less number of people in the picture, one-by-one approach is the best, okay? Don't get it complicated. Don't make it complicated. It sounds like you guys are somehow making this all complicated, but you gotta think it's simple, okay? Try to think it's simple. And Nisha, they are looking at each other. There's gotta be the preposition at, looking at each other, and hope they're in hope. You don't have to hope anything, okay? This is describing a picture. You just talk about what is in the picture, okay? 구루터기님, perfect. ... What does that mean? What those like dots mean? So Tadashi is saying he's taken the new format test twice, and I made a strategy. I would like to know your strategy. In the preparation time, I calculate how many seconds I can use for each person. You can calculate that? I haven't got used to it yet, and I'm still adjusting. That's a good idea. Yeah, you gotta time yourself, guys. All right, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds again for you guys, okay? And see how much you guys can say about this picture, okay? Guys, ready? Go. Two, 1, stop. Okay, so that is 30 seconds. Really short, really short. Mr. Ja, this picture is taken at a park and there are 2 musicians in there. Okay, in the picture, because grammatically you cannot put in front of the word there because it's an adverb, okay? There are 2 musicians there. Just get rid of both words, in and there. On the left side, a man wearing the dark blue hooded jacket, hooded jacket is playing the guitar. On the right side, a man wearing an orange jacket is playing the drums. The season may be fall since some leaves, that's going to be plural, leaves are turning to brown, are changing colors. I would say changing colors. Okay? Or some leaves have fallen down. Some leaves have fallen down. I can see some fallen leaves. Fallen, F-A-L-L-E-N, leaves. Okay? Grammar. It's all about grammar, guys. So in order to get your grammars correct, don't try to use anything complicated. No, hoodie. Hoodie is something without a zipper or any like kind of thing in the front. Something like you pull it over your head, okay? So this is a hooded jacket, hooded jacket, okay? Well, you're not gonna get like big deduction for that, point deduction for that, but still, just try to get it right, okay? 포도란 포도리님. And Nguyen and Nung, this is a picture taken in a park, and there are two men in this picture. You can see they're playing their instruments. One of them is wearing a hooded jacket, hooded, and playing the guitar, and the other guy is wearing a beanie and an orange jacket. On the right side of the picture is going to play the drum. See, Nung, the sentences are too long. Make them short, okay? You're putting everything together, and that's not nice. It looks like they are a band, one band, right? And they are mates and are practicing. They're bandmates, okay? They're bandmates and are practicing outside in the autumn weather. In an orange jacket, it's going to be A-N, in an orange jacket. Okay? The reason why I don't say in the is because this is the first time we are mentioning, the orange jacket. When you mention a noun in English for the first time, we don't say the. The means something you already said previously. So he's wearing an orange jacket. Okay? Jacob, hello. I just want to say thank you. I've watched your video for about 2 months, and they're really helpful for my TOEIC speaking test. Last month I attended the test, and you took the test and got 160. Congratulations. Wow, 190 for the writing. Congratulations, Jacob. Really. Thank you. Thank you. Really, it's really nice of you to return to the show and share your, experience with us. Very much. Thank you very much. Good. Okay, now, guys, let's move on to part 3. We shall move on to part 3. And it says, imagine that an English newspaper company is doing research to write an article. They want to collect information about gardening. Okay, there was something new, but it wasn't quite hard. All right, so it's about gardening, and the first question is this. Do a lot of people in your neighborhood have gardens at their houses? Do a lot of people in your neighborhood have gardens at their houses? I don't know about the places that you guys are living in right now, but I'm living in Seoul, and it's a big city, and most people live in apartments. And of course, in apartments, you can't have a garden, right? You wouldn't be able to afford one. So I grow several plants. I water them twice a week. I try really hard to not to kill them this time. I have 5 pots, potted plants. And I try really hard not to kill them. Yes. So I'm being very successful this time. I used to kill everything that came into my house. I mean, I'm pretty sure some of you have a very similar experience, but this time I'm being really, really, really careful. Okay. So, those people who are really good at growing plants, they have a green thumb. Green thumb. I guess because you're always playing with your plants, so the green color gets onto your finger. That's why they say green thumb. She has a green thumb. She has a green thumb. I don't have a green thumb, but I try really hard. So that was the first question. Now let's see what you're going to say. Oh, Trin, yes, I'm living in a small country, so almost people here have gardens at their houses. I envy you guys. I really want to have a garden. I want to have a front yard or a backyard and a garden, and I want to invite over a lot of my friends every weekend, and I want to have a barbecue party. That's my ultimate goal right now that I'm thinking. Like, small happiness. Small happinesses every weekend with friends. Sunshine, well, I live in a city, so it's really hard to find find people who have gardens at their houses. There's only one house with a garden in my neighborhood. Really, I know. It's like that in Seoul also. It's like that in my neighborhood. Like, if I look out the window, there's like one big park in the middle of our town and nobody has a garden. A lot of people in my neighborhood get gardens at their houses, Trang, and they all love nature, and every day I see them watering the plants and taking care of them. Guys, look at answer of Trang K. I really like this answer. I think this is like a perfect example of a good answer. A lot of people in my neighborhood have gardens at their houses. He's got the numbers right. And they all love nature, and every day I see them watering the plants. He's got all the related expressions in there and taking care of them. Okay, so this is a very good answer. Trang did a very nice job. 포들포들한 포들이님, sadly, I live in an apartment. My neighborhoods either. They don't have it either. You said that. It's a little short. Your answer is a little short, 포들이님. Tadashi, no they don't, because I live in an apartment and people in my neighborhood have no gardens to take care of. People is plural, right, Tadashi? So you gotta say no gardens, plural, to take care of. Well done. Always Tadashi is an acer here. And Paylin, not really, because I live in an apartment. Our balcony only have small space and we use it for hanging out. Hanging the laundry. Paylin, it's not hanging out. Hanging out is like playing. Adults like to hang out with their friends. They don't play with their friends. We don't play games or we don't play with our friends, but we hang out with our friends. It's Friday night. Before COVID, we used to hang out a lot. We used to hang out with friends. But hanging the laundry is a different story. We hang the laundry outside. We hang the laundry. Sunny Smith, I don't think many people in my neighborhood have their own gardens because most people live in an apartment, but some people have plants in their houses. Just like me. I told you guys, just like me. Yes. I love Sunny's. Sunny's answer is actually my answer. Thank you, Sunny, for typing that out for me. Cheer up, Podori님. Don't worry. You can't get good grades on the first attempt. Hyun, no, they don't, because people don't have any land for gardens, but they do like it a lot. They wish to have gardens to plant many trees to get fresh air. I like your answer too. Hyun, your English is getting better day by day. I can feel that. Like in the beginning when you first came to the show, it wasn't as good as the ones that you're showing right now. Yeah, your English is getting better. Good. All right. And okay, I will show you my answer for this one. So, do a lot of people in your neighborhood have gardens? Actually, they don't, because I live in the center of the city and there are many apartments, and I myself actually live in an apartment, so I don't have a garden. But like others and me, we have many plants indoors, so we can just take care of some plants inside. So eventually, when I go take the test, I speak a lot. I speak more than like 5 or maybe 6 sentences in 15 seconds. Yes, that's how I do it. Green thumb. Thank you, Mr. Ja. All right, and this is the second question. Where can you buy flowers or plants in your neighborhood? Have you purchased anything there? Okay, so apparently they're talking about a flower shop, right? Lee Eric, no, in my hometown, people don't have gardens unless they are filthy rich. Filthy rich. You gotta be filthy rich, okay? Because the land is expensive and most buildings here are apartments or high-rise buildings. You can say high buildings or tall buildings, but you can say high-rise buildings as well. Good job, Eric. It's true. Like if you want to have a house with a garden, you gotta be filthy rich. That's a good expression. You used it well. Ngang, Actually, I'm living in the rural area, so I can see many people in my neighborhood having gardens at their houses. Oh, when you are using the word have, you cannot say if it's talking about possessing something. If it's talking about that it's something of yours, you have to say my neighbors have gardens. You cannot say having. You have to say my neighbors have gardens at their houses. Okay, it can't be in progressive form. The word have, the verb have, if it's in progressive form, it's eating. It's eating, having lunch, having dinner. But if you possess something, if it means possessing, it's got to be have gardens. Ngokchin, I can buy flowers or plants at flower stores. I bought a pot of flower in a flower store near my house called Mince Flower. Is it the real name? Is it a real name? Cute, Mince Flower. Good answer, Trin. And Sunshine, I often go to a small flower shop near my house to buy flowers. A very good start. I bought a bunch of red roses. Oh, this is a related expression, guys. We can buy one rose, right? But normally we buy a bunch of roses. A bunch of roses, right? You make a bunch of flowers. You arrange the flowers with lots of different kinds. But in this case, she says red flowers as a birthday present for my mom last month. Good. She's really into flowers. I like this expression too. She's really into flowers, which means she loves flowers. She's crazy about flowers. I am really into flowers too, for your information, guys. I love flowers. You know, I like roses, especially those big bulb ones, which are very expensive. Yeah, I like all kinds of flowers. I like flowers with good fragrance. I don't like artificially colored flavor. I mean, flowers. You know, like some flowers are too pink or too. Sometimes I see blue roses. They're so artificial. I'm really into flowers too. I love flowers. Trang, I buy flowers and plants at a flower shop near my house. I purchase some flowers for parties or any special occasions like Mother's Day or Teacher's Day, right? Or for my friend's birthday. Yes. And Pudori님, there's a stationery near my house. I can purchase some seeds of onions and tomatoes, but I never. What's a stationery? Okay, I'm thinking. It's better to say just flower shop, yes. Because we're talking about buying plants and flowers. And obviously, you can buy flowers and plants at a flower shop, right? Or Palin said in the traditional market. Yes, normally some traditional markets, they sell plants and flowers, yes. I have bought some, sorry, I haven't bought any plants. It's a negative sentence, okay? Any plants, not at there, but just there. I mentioned it before, there is an adverb. Adverb, we don't use it with a preposition. So you cannot say at there, but you can say there. I haven't bought any plants there before because gardening is not my thing. Good. Good. Very well done, Palin. You're trying to use some expressions that you know, and you're actually putting them well. They're all well used. So except for saying at there, everything is good. Everything looks fine to me. Okay, so now this is my answer. Where can you buy flowers or plants in your neighborhood? Have you purchased anything there? There is a very big flower shop right across from my house, and it's called the Rainbow Flower Shop. I always go there to buy some flowers, and I go there maybe once a month to buy a new plant. I'm a royal customer. Okay, so I talked about the Rainbow Flower Shop. Now, when you have to say something and all of a sudden you can't think of a name, if it's not true. I'm telling you guys, this is not the truth that I'm talking about just now. Then use the word rainbow. Rainbow fits with anything. Rainbow coffee shop, rainbow cookie store, rainbow restaurant, or rainbow flower shop. Okay? Hyun said, I often buy flowers at a flower store. It sells different kinds of beautiful flowers. I bought a bunch of flower. Okay. Hyun also used it. A bunch of flowers. You got to put the S there on Teacher's Day last year, and I gave it to my teacher. A very good story, Hyun. And Eric, yes, there's a flower ship. No, it's a flower shop near my house, but I've never bought anything there. Plants and flowers are really not my thing. Okay. Some people love them. Some people don't love them. Okay. Your own choice. Your freedom. Good. Okay. Now we're going to move on to question number 7. It says, how would you get tips on how to grow plants? How would you get tips on how to grow plants? Using the internet, asking friends. Guys, choose one. This time there were no 3 options. There were just 2. So you got to choose one. Either to use the internet or ask friends. And I have answers for both. I have answers for both. Are you guys thinking? Thinking whether to use the internet to get tips or whether to ask friends. Actually, I have a friend. I always talk about this friend on the show, and her name is Sehi. And she lives in Jeju. So, compared to, Seoul, Jeju is not a small city. It's quite big, but still, it's not an urban area. It's more like between suburban and rural areas. So you can see houses. My friend has a garden, yeah, and she has a green thumb. She's good at everything actually. And she knows how to grow green onions and peppers. She's like, she grows things that she eats. So I would ask her actually. If I have to do something, I would ask her. Anything plants or flowers or trees, I would ask her. Okay, I have a lot of answers here. Tadashi, I would get tips by using the internet because using the internet is always a helpful and convenient way for me. Actually, yesterday I bought roses, but I didn't know how to grow them, so I made research. I did research. It took only 3 minutes before I found the good website explaining it. Yes, good. Well done. Sunshine, I'm gonna ask my best friend. He's like a real expert in planting trees. He has a beautiful garden at his house, and he usually often, you just want, okay? He usually spends hours taking care of his garden on the weekend. Sunshine, your answers seem very promising to get level 7 or even 8. Whenever I need any tips on planting trees or flowers, he's my first choice. Good. Goptrin, not only tips on how to grow plants, but also everything I don't know, I could search for the internet. I could search for it or search for them on the internet. For example, last month I bought a pot of flowers and I didn't know how to take care of it. Okay, so I searched for... Okay, in this case, I would say I Googled some information. We can use Google as a verb. Yes, we can use Google as a verb. So you can say, I Googled information. I Googled some tips. I Googled. And you just put the D back there. Yeah, and it makes it a present tense. I Googled some tips and I was able to learn many things. And until now, the pot of flower is growing very well. Okay. Podori-nim, I think I will gonna. It's either I will go or I'm gonna. Okay? It's I'm gonna or I will use the internet. I'm gonna use the internet or I will use the internet. Because internet is, there's many experts that I can get some advice and I can watch videos whenever and wherever I wish. There are many experts, okay? You put the S after expert, so it's got to be plural. There are many experts. Hyun, my friend has a garden and his mother grows many different plants, so I often ask him for advice. He always gives me helpful advice. Then I follow his advice. I successfully grow my favorite plant. You have to make that successful into an adverb. I can successfully grow because you put that in front of verb. So it's going to be I successfully grow or I can successfully grow. Okay? I lost track of your answers. Hold on. Okay, and Eric, I will go for the internet because I don't have friends who are good with plants. And nowadays you could pretty much find everything you need on the internet. It's very convenient. Good answer, Eric. Love it. And Sunny, I usually get tips on how to grow plants by Googling it, Googling it, or asking my friends. Oh, by the way, when you're saying Googling, although it's used as a verb, you have to capitalize that G, okay? It's capital G, O-O-G-I-L-I-N-G. One of my friends knows how to grow flowers well, so she really helps me out on it. Helps me out on it. Trang, I always get tips on how to grow plants from my friends because I have many friends having experience who have, you can't say having, it's who have experience on planting trees. Whenever I want to plant a tree, I usually ask my friends. They will give me some advice and explain to me how to water the plants, how to take care of it, and how much water it needs to grow. Okay, sounds good. Anisha, mostly I ask my friends, okay, about planting, about growing plants. My friend is a professional farmer, really, so he knows much more things about growing plants, not the. Okay, it seems like, Anisha, you're putting the unnecessarily too much, okay? So if the means something that you already mentioned. And in this case, it's not about something that you already mentioned. It's in general. So growing plants. Hyung, when it comes to tips on how to grow plants, honestly, I always search for information on the internet. I'm interested in growing flowers, so I find some instruction videos on YouTube. A very good idea. Right. And reviews from gardeners from all over the world. Okay, from all over the world. I ask my friends to help me water my plants instead. Haha. Okay, now you have 30 seconds for this answer. Listen to mine. Actually, I prefer to use the internet because there are so many websites these days, and I can find pretty much anything on the internet. And these days, I'm into watching YouTube videos, and whenever I have some questions, I always watch videos and I can get good tips. Of course, I can get good tips on how to grow plants. Now, there are a lot of expert gardeners who make videos about growing plants and planting trees. So I would use the internet. Okay, so I talked about the internet, but I was being very specific about using YouTube, watching YouTube videos. And there are many expert gardeners, or you could say farmers, give tips, which is an ultimate truth, which is real truth, right? So yeah, I talked about like my reality, my actual story. Good job. Wow. Oh, Palin, I prefer using the internet. Now, for the name internet, we always, have to use it with the word the. I prefer using the internet to get information. Okay? Now we're going to move on to part 4. This is the chart. I made it. I created it, but I didn't decorate it. My, visual team made it for me. It looks pretty cute with that little ghost on the corner. Okay, so guys, look at it. Look at the chart. Study the chart. And I will share with you one by one. You are? Sunny, are you studying the chart? You guys are so nervous for questions 8 to 10. Oh, really? Yeah, I understand that. But like for this part, you can sort of like assume what the questions would be. Like for example, normally they like to ask simple things for the first question, right? And secondly, do you see the client meeting twice, the word client meeting? That's a huge tip. I mean, when you see the same word twice, normally they ask about that in the last question. And you see how the factory tour has been crossed out? There's this line. It means that they're going to ask about it in one of the questions, okay? So for the preparation time, during the preparation time, you have to sort of like, try to assume what kind of questions they're going to be giving you. They're going to be questioning you, okay? And then wait for the question. And then wait for the question. Okay, so for the nervous Sunny, here goes the first question. Now, okay, let me read the narration first. It says, "Hello, this is Heather Ford, the CEO of Ford Electronics. I am supposed to go on a business trip tomorrow, but I haven't gotten a review of the schedule yet. Before I get ready for the trip, I would like to check some details about the first day. Could you please help me out?" Okay, now, here it goes. What is the last thing on my schedule for the first day, and what time will it start? What is the last thing on my schedule for the first day, and what time will it start? That is the first question. What is the last thing on my schedule, and what time will it start? It's very easy. You just talk about something that is the last thing on the schedule and the time information. Okay, guys, type it in. I'm waiting for your answers. What is the last thing on my schedule for the first day, and what time will it start? Okay. Oh, Tadashi, you're number one. From 7 to 10 p.m., you're going to attend Employee Award Ceremony at Garden Square Hotel, which is the last event for the first day. This is like a perfect answer. Thank you, Tadashi, for writing down a textbook answer. Okay, textbook kind of answer. Okay, Gokchin, at the end of the first day, you will have an event on, okay. You don't necessarily have to say you will have an event on something. You could just say there will be an employee award ceremony. Okay, Trin, there will be an employee award ceremony at Garden Square Hotel at 7 p.m. Please remember that. You didn't necessarily have to say there you will have an event on something, okay? And Sunny, it is employee award ceremony at Garden Square Hotel from 7 to 10 p.m. Now, Sunny, it's better to say there will be an employee award ceremony. There will be, okay? Mr. Ja, hi, your last thing on the schedule is the event called, okay, you don't have to actually make it sound longer, okay? Just say it is called Employee Award Ceremony, and it will be held at Garden Square Hotel. Okay, guys, you don't have to stretch out the sentences, and it will start at 7 and end. Okay, you have to say and at 10 p.m. 포도리님, it's going to hear your voice again, Miss Ford. You don't have to say that. It's good to hear your voice again. Okay, you don't have to say that, 포도리님. There will be employee award ceremony at Garden Square Hotel from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's all you have to say, okay? And Guyan, the last thing in your schedule is, normally you have to say on your schedule. On your schedule is employee award ceremony at Garden Square Hotel. It will begin. See, this is the thing. It will begin at 7 and it will finish at 10. Okay, you have to be careful with that. It will begin at 7 and it will finish at 10. Yes, Sunny, remember that. You have to say there will be. Oh, last event of the first day is, okay, this is too long, Hazel. This is just too long, guys. Just say it is or there will be, okay? There will be. Because you guys are having a conversation and you don't necessarily have to like stretch out whatever you want to say. Just say, there will be. Simple as that. There will be an employee award ceremony at Garden Square Hotel. And it will start. It will start from 7 p.m. Or you could say at 7 p.m. Okay, Trang says something different. The last thing for your first day is the employee award ceremony and at Garden Square Hotel. It will start at 7 p.m. and last for 3 hours. Okay, this is what I'm saying. She said it'll last for 3 hours. Yes, it will last for 3 hours because it'll start at 7 and finish at 10. So it will last for 3 hours. Yang somebody, it's yang, yin, yin and yang, yin, yin, right? Thank you, teacher. I always listen to your opinion and practice with your actual test videos, and my scores from last month was 160. Congratulations, yin somebody. Okay, and the last thing on your first day schedule is, Eric, you don't necessarily have to say that. You just say there will be an employee award ceremony. It'll start at 7 and end at 10 in the evening, okay? You guys somehow try so hard to sound fancy. It's really unnecessary, I'm telling you, okay? Using all these like fancy expressions that you saw in the book, it's not going to show how good you are as an English speaker, okay? It's not about that. Oh, look at Palin's answer. There will be an employee award ceremony. It will take place at Garden Square Hotel. It will start at 7 and it will finish at 10. Now, Palin, again, you're putting all the information in one sentence and you're getting all the grammatical things wrong. So this is wrong. Guys, split up the sentences. Look, my eyes are going to fall out. All right, so I would say, okay, at 7, there will be an employee award ceremony. It will take place at Garden Square Hotel, and then it will finish at 10 p.m. After that, there's nothing. This is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to say. I'm just going to say, at 7, there will be blah, blah, blah. It will take place at blah, 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 and it will finish at 10. That's all. Very simple and clear, okay? You don't got to put all those like fancy like wordings in there. No. The second question. I heard that I will have a chance to look at the facilities of our factory on the first day. Is it scheduled before lunch? I heard that I will have a chance to look at the facilities of our factory on the first day. Is it scheduled before lunch? I heard that I'll have a chance to look at the facilities of our factory on the first day. Is it scheduled before lunch? Now, Tadashi, they often ask you about the flight when the attorney has it. Could you give me the easiest set of things? From where? Okay, sure. You're from India? Really? Oh my God. I've never been to India, but actually my dad worked in India for about like 2-3 years, and he said he loved to drink lassi in the street, he said. You guys drink lassi in the street and then you throw away the cup? He told me about that. Thank you for joining the show. Anyway, let's talk about this question first, and I'm going to get back to you, Tadashi. Don't worry about it, okay? I've heard that I will have a chance to look at the facilities of our factory on the first day. Is it scheduled before lunch, guys? Is it scheduled before lunch? Now, I'm going to go up. You said, Tadashi, no, you have the wrong information. The factory tour you mentioned has been moved to the second day. Good. Has been moved. That's the point. Has been past participle. Has been PP, past participle. So you said it right, Tadashi. It has been mentioned. It has been moved to the second day. Good. Actually, no, the factory tour will be moved. No, it's not will be moved. Trin, it has been moved. It has been moved. Sunny, actually, no, it's not canceled. Sunny, it's not canceled. It will be there. There will be, again, Sunny, there will be a factory tour on the second day. There will be a factory tour on the second day. Lassi, I love mango lassi. That's my favorite. Mango, 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 mango lassi. Yes. I like the plain ones too. The factory tour has been rescheduled. Has been past participle, guys. Has been rescheduled for the second day. And that preposition is correct. Has been rescheduled for the second day. Good. There was, 포도리님, there was a factory tour, but it has been changed to the next day. Good. It has been changed. Guys, it's got to be it has been changed, it has been canceled, It has been changed to the second day. It has been postponed until the second day. It has been delayed to the second day. It has been moved to the second day, okay? Maggie Cow, welcome back to the show. Hi, Gwen. I just joined the class and I really wanted to thank you for your videos helping me achieving my speaking and writing skills. I got full score for writing and 180 for... Wow. Big applause to you. Wow. So full marks for writing and 180 for speaking. Great. Everyone could do this, okay? Everyone could do this. Congratulations, Maggie. And actually, no, the factory tour has been rescheduled for. It's going to be rescheduled for the second day. Rescheduled for the second day. And Sunny, there will be a factory tour on the second day. That is perfect. That is exactly what you have to say. Okay, so I'm going to go with Tadashi's answer. Okay, Tadashi, you got the one that I would say. Tadashi said, where's Tadashi's answer? Oh, Tadashi said, no, you have the wrong information. The factory tour you mentioned has been moved to the second day. Okay, guys, look at Tadashi's answer. Tadashi Akimoto-san. 포도리님, 단수용 과거로도 were 나오는 경우가 있기를 써봤는데 아니에요. has been을 쓰셔야 돼요. It has been. It has been. Anisha, actually the factory tour has been rescheduled for. Good. Anisha, you got it right. Has been rescheduled for the next day. The second day or the next day. Okay? I know it's really hard to get that right. All right. And I'm going to move on to the last question, guys. Open your ears. Could you please tell me all the details of the client meetings that I'll be having on the first day? Could you please tell me all the details of the client meetings that I'll be having on the first day? Client meetings. This is so easy. Could you please tell me all the details of the client meetings that I'll be having on the first day? Client meetings. Okay, it's so obvious. It's just there, right? I even gave you a tipper on, you could actually assume that they're going to be asking for that. Okay. Trin, of course, there are 2 client meetings. The first one is Parson. It's not on. It's with. You're having a meeting with somebody. Yes. You're having it like what Tadashi is saying. There are 2 client meetings on the first day. From 11:30, you are going to have a client meeting with people from Parson medicinal science. And actually, Tadashi, you don't necessarily have to say with people from Parson medicinal science, but you could just say with Parson medicinal science. Okay? And from 3:30 p.m., another client meeting is scheduled, and you're going to see people from Pearson Publishing House. Or you can say you're going to have a meeting with Pearson Publishing House. Okay? So you don't necessarily use the word people. Of course, we're going to have a meeting with people, but you could say we're having a meeting with this company. We're having a meeting with this company. Hello, Huang. You're coming in from Vietnam. How's the situation in Vietnam? I know a lot of you are from Vietnam here, and I heard that Hanoi's situation is getting better because they stopped the lockdown. They stopped the lockdown situation as of like last week or something, because I have a student who's there, and we talk very often, and she's been going out to the restaurants recently. 포도리님, yeah, it's a little tricky. The preposition, 전치사, 어려워요, right? Okay, so the easiest way of saying this is you will have a meeting, you will have a client meeting with some company, you will have a client meeting with some company. Trang said there are 2 client meetings on the first day, on the first day. And the first one is a meeting, not the meeting, a meeting with Parson Medicinal Science at 11:30 a.m. You could just say there will be a meeting with. There will be a client meeting with some company. There will be a client meeting with some company. Okay? You guys are trying so hard to make it complicated and hard, but please don't. Please don't. Just try to make it simple and easy, okay? I always tell you guys, don't make it tricky, because speaking English is already hard. It's tricky, right? You have to think about the pronunciation, you have to think about the stress, the grammars. So just make it simple, please. I really want to cry right now. There are 2 client meetings. At 11:30 a.m., there will be a client meeting with Parson Medicinal Science. And at 3:30 p.m., there will be a client meeting with Pearson Publishing House. Or you can say, at 11:30 a.m., you will have a client meeting with Parson Medicinal Science. At 3:30 p.m., you will have a client meeting with Pearson Publishing House. Simple as that. Okay, I'm pretty sure some people are still typing. I'll be waiting for your answers. Oh, guys, please press the like button right now if you haven't, because it really helps us to expose our videos to more people around the world. We have today some people coming from Japan, from Taiwan, from Thailand, from Vietnam, and from India. Yes, Taiwan, India, Thailand. Oh, that's a lot. So please press the like button so more people could come. For me, English is the easiest language on the planet. It's true, because Indians, I mean, you guys use English all the time. Yes. You guys, English is your mother tongue, right? You guys speak 3 or 4 languages, I believe. Yeah, so English is the easiest language. But for most of us Asians, it's really hard. Yeah, it's really hard to, I don't know why. I think English grammar is much easier than Korean, my native language, but somehow, yeah, it's really hard for Asians to speak good English. Yeah, I think because we're used to book English studies rather than talking English. So yeah, guys, if you're just sitting in front of the screen right now, just not talking, just looking, it's a wrong way of training here. You got to say something aloud. Seems like no more answers. No more. Shall we move on? We shall. Okay. All right. Finally, we have the last part. Yes, press the like button, everybody. Like. Okay, so this is the last question. Oh, okay. I think I knew that some people were typing in the answers. Hold on. Let me get back to part 4. Anisha, there are 2 client meetings. Client meetings, not clients meeting. It's client meetings. You have to attend, ATTEND, before lunch. Oh, again, it's too much information. Just say at 11:30. At 11:30, at 3:30. Okay? And again, Anisha, it is there will be a client meeting with Parson Medicinal Science, and at 3:30 p.m. there will be a client meeting with Pearson Publishing House. Okay? All right. Now I'm going to move on to part 5. For real. Being serious. Choose a job and explain how you think it will change 20 years from now. Now, this is an question. This is so super freaking hard. This is so crazy. I mean, I think this is one of the hardest questions that could appear in the history of TOEIC speaking. Tadashi, don't you think so? I think this question is just crazy. This is surreal. This is just, I don't know why they chose this question. Okay. Thank you, ma'am, Anisha. You're welcome. I think tellers at banks will disappear in 20 years for several reasons. It's because of the development of technology, right? Development of technology. these days I don't even use ATM anymore. Yeah, because I don't use cash anymore. This year, I think I used cash once or twice, not even cash. I used the coins because I go to this mart. It's not a Walmart, but there's something called E-Mart in Korea. I'm pretty sure you guys have E-Mart in some Asian countries. And when we go to E-Mart, if we want to use those cards, we have to like slip in a coin there. So for that, I used coins maybe once or twice. But if I don't have a coin, I actually ask for one to some stranger, and they're willing to give it to me. So I think because we don't use cash anymore much, we use electronic payments, which we use credit cards, and we do all the online transactions. We do online banking, and yeah, you don't necessarily have to go to the bank. So I definitely agree with you, Trin, that bank tellers will disappear. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, Tadashi. They asked this question. A very, almost like 99%, 99.9% similar. Yes. It's so hard. It's super duper hard. It's so freaking hard. Yes. Hyun, I have a great passion for learning English. I really want to become an interpreter in the future. So I study English very hard, but many experts say that robots, not robots, robots will place this job in the near future. You know what? It could, but in some ways, I'm pretty sure there should be some people who could speak different languages, because robots cannot replace like the emotional things that we could deliver. There are these little emotional things that like language can deliver to others. So of course, robots are great. I mean, I've been to like museums, exhibitions where they have audio tour guides, and I enjoy listening to them because, audio tour guide, if you use them, you listen to them and you get information about the pictures and the paintings and whatever is displayed. But it's not that interesting. Like when I go and, go on a tour where there's a tour guide, an actual tour guide, like it's more interesting, and sometimes they tell you jokes and some behind the scenes stories about the artist, so it's more fun. But when it's like all registered information, it's just like textbook kind of information. It's like something that you could find in an encyclopedia, which is so not interesting. Why is this channel so international? Because I speak English and we did this show in English, that's why. Yeah, and most Korean people are shy to type in English. 한국 분도 계시죠? 한국 분들 영어 타이핑 안 하시고 계시잖아요, 그렇죠? Yeah, we have a lot of Koreans here attending the show with us here on the show, but most Koreans are very shy. I don't know why. My Japanese viewers, they're also like participating in this, conversation. I don't know why Koreans are more shy. Anyway. Yeah, Tadashi, this is just... Yeah, so back to what I was talking about. Hyun, I think it's not going to disappear. No, I believe so. And I think like English teaching job will be here until we die. Until we die and, forever. Because English is like global language. We share this language in common with a lot of people all over the world. And you have so many merits when you speak English. So if you cannot become an interpreter or translator, there are so many opportunities that, could come to you when you speak English. So just don't give up on that. Don't lose hopes. I'm pretty sure it's going to do you only good. No harm. Okay? I just wanted to tell you that. All right, and yeah, a lot of Vietnamese students come here as well. Actually, my answer for this is teachers, because we've gone through COVID, and during COVID we weren't able to go to schools or classes, and we did lots of online classes, right, on Zoom. And even now I do lots of classes on Zoom. And before COVID, it was a little like, hard to have students come into online classes, even live classes, because they think that it's not as good as the ones that they have in classes. So there was that, barrier. But now we've torn down the barrier, and a lot of people, they like prefer studying on Zoom or working at home from home and using like doing Zoom meetings because you could save time and you don't have to go on like unnecessary business trips, which could be necessary, but still it's time saving, money saving. So I think teachers have to change accordingly. I mean, before we used to prepare things for like, you know, the classroom materials. We would have to prepare handouts. We would have to prepare like, you know, things, some activities that students can do. But now all the activities has to, you know, change. All these have to change, like online formats. You know, we need to use ebooks more. So I have books. I use some books for my classes, but I also, I have the actual book, but I also use the ebook because I want to show the book page on the screen and share them with my students. So I think the teaching job itself would change a lot. It's going to require different kinds of skills or different kinds of skill sets. That's my opinion. And that's what I've been doing recently. Like, it's changed a lot. I mean, I've been teaching for 15 years, and in the beginning, it was totally different than now. So, of course, in the future, it's going to change even more. That, I say, would be my answer. Podori님, in my case, I want to be a flight attendant one day, and I think about after the 20 years of that job, there may not be handed by men. But no. It's suddenly stop hard. Okay, so I believe there's no change to flight attendant. Okay. 포도리님, your answer is a little hard to understand. I think that you're trying to say that the flight attendant job, you know, the job as a flight attendant will remain. It's not going to disappear. Are you saying? That's what I understand. Yeah, it's really hard to understand. I'm sorry. 한국어로 써주시겠어요? Mr. Ja, I think that there will no longer. Oh, you can say there will no longer be bus drivers in the future. There will no longer be bus drivers in the future, since the modern auto drive technology, right, is developed. And it's going to become more stable. It's going to become more stable and safe. Cargo drivers may disappear. May not? May disappear, right? May disappear in 20 years. Dodin Hong, hello, welcome. You're a little late. We're going towards the end of the show. But you got 160 level 7. We have so many people coming in saying that they've achieved their scores. Good job. Congratulations. Years later. Okay. Interpreter, I've done some official and non-official interpreting work, but it's always fun. It's always good. Yeah, but you have to have a lot of knowledge. Yeah, if you want to become an interpreter, you got to know everything about all kinds of fields. So for me, I'm a specialist in English teaching, not in all kinds of fields. So when I was like, you know, asked to do interpretation, I had to study that field. It's not only about English, right? It's not only about English, but how much you know about that field and all the like these terms and words that you have to use. So that was a little hard for me. So interpretation isn't my cup of tea, but I'm pretty sure it's a very charming job. Yes, and I think what you're talking, 포도리님, is right. Flight attendant, you know, like serves jobs. Of course, robots can do it. I mean, like, there are some kiosks when you go to McDonald's. There are no clerks anymore taking your orders, right? You go up to the kiosk, you know, place your order, and your order will be ready at the other side of the store. But, you know, sometimes, you know, there are some jobs where you have to be very attentive, like, you know, flight attendants or hotel jobs. You've got to give service to the customer. They want the service. They want to be served. So I guess those kind of jobs would still be there even after many years. But right now we're talking about any kind of job that will change, okay? So if you're talking about flight attendant and you say that it's not going to change, this is not the right thing to say for this question, okay? Let's say Hyun, he said something about, you know, bank tellers will disappear. That's something that that's a good choice to make, to talk about for this, question. Okay? All right. I guess most of you said it. Tadashi, do you have anything to say about this question? No? You gave up? Teiji, you're very quiet today. How come I can't hear from you? Mm-hmm. Nothing more to add? In 20 years, let's see. Guys, like Squid Game and BTS, all these cultural content, I think those content creators and content directors and makers, those jobs would become very popular in the future. Yeah. And let's see. I don't know much about jobs, actually. Jobs always come and go, I think. They come and go, come and go. Oh, yes. Korean students will come back to school, yes. I think the Korean government is trying to normalize everything by the end of this year. Yeah. And they say, a lot of people are making reservations to go abroad already. Tourism industry is becoming more and more active day by day. And yeah, it's really weird, isn't it? It's been 2 years. And 2 years have gone by so fast. And I sort of look back on that 2 years, and I feel like I've been lazy, actually. I've been lazy because, you get to work at home and you don't have to be up very early. And if I were diligent enough, I would have finished like more books during that 2 years. But I just wanted to sort of like, be laid back. I just wanted to relax. And, I think world can wait. My friend sent me this like posting saying, the world can wait. Yeah, take your time. The world can wait. There are some things that, the world can't wait, but I think I'm going to be working for the rest of my life. So I think I can take my time, recharge myself, and, that's what I've been doing for the last 2 years. That's how I want to soothe myself. So lucky, Kim-nim. Oh, yeah, we're doing this show every week. We are doing this show every... No, sorry, not every week, every month. Oh, guys, before I go, before I let you guys go, the next show will be on the 26th, okay? November 26th, Friday. So don't get it wrong. It's not going to be the 3rd. It's going to be the 4th Friday. It's going to be November 26th. I hope you guys remember that, okay? Don't get it confused. Tadashi, it's not my English skill, but my creativity. You're so funny. You have creativity. I saw your videos, and it's great. Okay, and Fan Hangla, due to innovation in technology, there will be various machines which will replace good F&B jobs in 20 years. For example, robots will take in charge of serving food in the restaurants. Really? Really? That's so sad. Many people, I think many human beings will lose jobs, that's for sure. Yeah, robots will take over. Actually, yeah, Hyun, there are a lot of schools that allow students to come, but still a lot of people are being careful. I got my second COVID shot. Yeah, and I was totally fine. I thought I was gonna die, but no, nothing severe happened, and I'm here, I'm alive. Anisha, student policy as well as international culture, history, economy, everything. Yeah, everything, study policy, everything is changing and will change. But guys, I won't change. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here every month talking to you guys. Yeah. It's really nice talking to you guys, and I know it would be wonderful if I could talk to you more often, but that's that. And about the book, Teiji, you asked, yeah, you could look at these Post-its. I'm making the last minute corrections and it's going to be out soon. Hopefully at the end of this month. No, that's a little too close. In the beginning of November, yes. And it's going to be in Korean first. But if you guys are interested in purchasing the Korean version, I'll put it out there for you guys to get. But if not, I will work on changing some words into English. So, you guys could take a look at it. Okay. Oh, you wanted to use it urgently. All right. So again, next live class will be on November 26th, Friday. Okay. So don't miss it, everybody. I was so happy that I had some new viewers from India. I see new viewers from Anisha. Where are you from? Here we are. Where are you from? I wasn't able to ask you about that. And yeah, I need to really do some more things for you guys. I really want to, but I don't know why. I have to sort of make myself work harder. But believe me, I'm working really hard. I'm trying to do more. Okay. Okay, so I'm waiting for Anisha's answer. Where are you from, Anisha? I'm waiting for your answer. Teiji, let me know when your next test is. Okay, when your next test is. Anisha? Yeah, I wasn't waiting for your thank you note, but I was waiting for where you are from. Okay. From Sunny Smith, where are you from? Oh, you're from Nepal. Oh my gosh, you're from Nepal? That's crazy. I'm getting new viewers from other countries. I'm so excited. All right, I'm really happy about this community. And guys, don't miss the show. We have 2 more shows coming up until the end 2021. And in 2 days, it's going to be Halloween. So go get some fun. Don't go outside where there are a lot of people. Just, be safe, dress up at home, have some fun, trick-or-treating with your friends. And I will see you in November. Bye.